lots and lots of stuff.
I meant for a shot.
For a shot?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'll go first because I have a negative one here. Something that absolutely drives me crazy is when people have keychains, especially with their car keys, and they have 9,000 other fucking things on there. I have my vehicle key, a key for, yep, just like that. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
It is.
That is so fucking stupid.
I use 4 of them.
Yeah, that becomes no longer convenient. That thing is an inconvenience. And anytime people have more than like 3 or 4 things on their keychains, it's an inconvenience, and you're just fucking wasting your time.
It's the key to my first car.
Oh, that's important to have.
It is.
And it's super important to carry it with you everywhere you go.
Yep.
Yep. Good call. Good call. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, you're right. It's all the keys that I actually do use are on a separate ring on this pile of keys. They're all right here on their own ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like it. I even have a bottle opener that doesn't work anymore because I've worn it down so much that it won't hook on anything. Used it for so long.
Yeah, I mean, those things are like irreplaceable and super expensive to replace. So I can understand why you would hold on to it.
Yeah. You never know. I have I have the exact same one, just new.
So it's a good thing you still have the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super important to hang on to those things.
Yeah.
Super important.
So, anyways, last time my shot was talking about weaponized incompetence. This time my shot is going to be about competence, weaponized competence. I had a lot of people last week who had a lot of issues with just weaponizing competence. Well, no one ever showed me how to do that. Well, I don't know how to do that. Never wanting to learn to figure it out. That sucked. Today, I put together a team, and that team excelled and overperformed what the tasks that I needed them to do. And so this is for them, for showing weaponized competence is a thing. Thank you for doing your fucking job, and be willing to learn. So, to you, people who aren't lazy. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Oh. Oof, by the Modelo. Yeah. It's been a week. And it'll be a week, and then next week will be a week, and
Yeah, they all are. Every single one of them.
I'm learning that. It doesn't matter what you do, how you do it. They're all just kind of suck. But it's fine.
I want to know where the person came up with that if you do what you love, you're never going to work a day in your life. Like, I don't think anybody's found that.
I don't think there's anything that it doesn't inevitably become work after a couple years. No matter what it is. You could be massaging supermodels and it would still become work.
Yeah, it just becomes another day in the office at some point.
Damn. Yeah. I would still really like to work at that office, but...
Yeah. But after so long, it's normal.
I mean, you're right. So there's nothing you could do that would be a job that would make you love every day in and out forever.
I don't know. It's really hard to say because you'd have to do something in and out every day for a long time. Like they say it takes like about 5 years or 10,000 hours to master something.
Is that why I'm so good at Stardew Valley?
Probably.
That makes a lot of sense. I think I've heard that statistic. I think it does depend. If you're a small boy in Asia, that time is reduced at least by in half, if not a quarter.
No, I mean those Nikes are pretty easy to put together. So
I'm talking about like the ones that like play the piano really well.
Oh, I thought you were talking about sweatshops.
No, I mean I'm sure they're pretty good at making shoes.
The ones that make LeBrons.
Super fucked up. It's super fucked up. So is the...
Yes, there are, as with everything, there is always an exception to the rule. I mean, I was watching these like 10 or 11-year-olds answer questions today, and they were like talking about like different, fuck, what was it even? They were talking different nerves like within the spine and like in the brain, and these kids were just fucking nailing them. And I'm like, I didn't even know those things were fucking real, let alone what their name was.
Everyone has their niche. Yours is just booze, video games, riding a bike. I don't know.
But that's the thing, is I'm not good at, like, there are people that have know so much more about video games. Like, people
Like the OK
go
streamer.
yes. People go so much deeper into video games than what I have ever done.
Is there anything that you've done that you would say you've just devoted a lot of time and effort into doing that has paid off in some way?
What do you mean by paid off in some way?
Just had a payoff one way or the other. You had a moment where it was just like, this was worth it.
I mean, playing football, there was plenty of times playing football where, that was always worth it. And then playing rugby, that was a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I was thinking like cooking, learning how to cook has paid off dividends, especially recently.
See, I'm going to go the other way with learning how to cook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because now when I go to places that serve mediocre food, I'm like, why the fuck didn't I just stay at home and make this myself? This is not that good. Like, I can't eat ribs anywhere.
Oh, people do ribs awful too.
Nobody makes good ribs.
I've never been to a restaurant where I've been like, yeah, these ribs are great, better than what I can make at home. And I don't
Yeah,
make ribs.
Nope. And I've worked hard to craft my ribs. And I think my ribs are very good. Of course, I used to cater them to like try and make other people happy. Now I'm like, fuck that. I make what I want.
Lots of vinegar then.
No. I said what I want, not what you want. They're El Cholo Loco.
This is a motif. It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
I'm going with it. I'm gonna lean into it a little bit. She said one of our viewers said I just need an LA tattoo on my cheek.
And a teardrop.
Teardrop would be good. Right?
But what city would you put from being from Texas on your face?
Houston, H-Town.
Houston? You think Houston's the right play?
I think in this context, it's about as good as I'm gonna get.
I'd like to see, like a real like border crossing town and have that on your face.
H-Town, Houston.
No, like a border crossing town, like
Brownsville, Eagle Pass, El Paso, Del Rio.
El Paso. Like that would be like super, super, just dirty. What is that? Does that say El Paso on your face?
You know why they're not super out there though? The gangs and stuff on those border towns.
Why?
Because they'll die. The cartels will absolutely kill them if they start causing too much trouble. They're just gone.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's organized crime.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think people actually dress like this, do they?
I've seen it in movies.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm pulling this from movies and like skits on Comedy Central. Like this, maybe there was a time where they did dress like this.
There's a reason that stereotypes become a thing.
I can't imagine it's still a thing. I cannot imagine that.
I guarantee you that if we drove around long enough, we would see somebody dressed like that.
I want to bring something up. What's interesting is if you just go here, right? A little of that, a little bit of this. Straight hipster.
Yep, you just
became a fucking totally different person. And then if you hold on, I got this. It's fashion is so interesting. I would love it if it wasn't, I don't know,
Fashion.
Yeah. And you go here, right? You roll up the sleeves, you bring it back down, hide the hair. Look like I work at a fucking lumberyard or like I'm fucking selling fish at a market.
Well, I was gonna say you can do a lot of construction jobs looking like that. You could be hanging drywall. You could be pouring concrete. You could be
Yeah.
roofing.
Yeah. And then, oh, there is one last good one. Oh, can I pull that off though? I don't know if I think my skin color could pull it off. I don't know if I could pull it off. We're just gonna come out here. Okay. Then we take it. Is it? Nah, it's not hijabi, huh? Not super 7-Eleven-y? Damn.
No.
I was a man hopeful. Kind of. Black woman.
I was gonna say you could pull off an African princess.
But it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm sorry. I was just going down the rabbit hole with it. I'll go back to Cholo. I'll go back until my Modelo's done.
You would do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's weird. It's also weird that Cholos and hipsters typically populate the same cities together. They live in harmony. And I do think it's because they shop at the same stores.
Maybe.
Hey, you been to Aldi's yet? But yeah, sorry. Now I'm hot. Okay.
That's all right. My kids came home from school today, and I was working. I had thought earlier, I was like, God, it's hot in here, and I was like, maybe I just got out of the shower. Maybe it was just that, My youngest comes in, and he's like, Dad, it's hot in here. So I went and looked, and the thermostat was at 77.
Ooh.
That is warm. So I'm like, what's going on? Because it was the temperature increase that we had a heat wave today.
I was about to ask.
And I went and looked. The AC wasn't running. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Uh-oh.
So I pulled the thermostat off, checked. Yeah, that's working. Went downstairs, kind of looked around. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm just going to call somebody. Took the cover off the furnace, kind of poked around, put the cover back on, fired back up.
That's it?
I have no idea what I did. That's a whole different ballgame.
Same shit.
Control wiring is very, very different.
That's wild to me. It's all basically magic anyways.
It's not, but go ahead.
Which, by the way...
By the by.
D&D idea. That's already been done.
Okay.
Someone has made a spellcasting system for a separate subclass. There's a lot of different names for it, but the gist of it is circuits. But the spells are the switches and the levers and everything. And so you activate this circuit, which allows you to cast this spell in conjunction with this spell, resulting in this.
Okay.
Is that something you would ever be interested in doing?
At this point, everybody talks a big talk when it comes to playing D&D, and zero people are walking a walk. So until somebody walks a walk, yes, let's just... Anytime you want to ask me a question if I'd be interested, the answer is going to be yes, because there's no walking.
I know. It's tough.
I'm not saying it's not.
We just don't have the free time like we used to as well.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. I am very limited on my free time as
I was
well.
about to say the boys are going to be in football. They're going to be in wrestling, which is going to be the winter sport.
They're in football right now, and
then they'll have their spring sport, which either is going to be football again or baseball, or they're going to continue wrestling. And their summer sport is going to be just everything. So finding a time for you is going to be a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have an off season.
Oh, that's okay. That's good times.
It's a good reason. It's not like you're blowing
That's why-
us off.
Yeah, I got shit to do.
A little bit. You're being a good dad. I can't knock you for it. No, I'm sorry I wasn't as prepared though. I've been Work's pretty crazy. I do.
See, but you could give everybody a reason to get together, but you're just dragging your feet on that.
I mean, I could
Like,
put one together in 5 minutes. That's not the problem.
Gabe, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a reason for everybody to get together. Because Gabe also has a reason for everybody to get together, and I don't know why he's not doing his thing.
Oh, that's true.
So at this point, it's kind of on both of you. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I have to wait for my sister for that to be over.
Your younger sister.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
Yeah. Not trying to take away spotlight at all. Yeah, I don't know. Life's crazy and then we die. Really kind of grasping that one. Like, not really giving a shit on what people think. I do have some questions when it comes to leadership. Specifically, I've got some lazy airmen. Like, so what would you do if you have a coworker that is directly under you that is constantly like hiding, shirking responsibilities, things like that?
How?
Disappearing because we're all in the same building. They're just vanishing. They're hiding somewhere. I haven't found their hiding spot yet. And I'll text them, and they'll respond, and they'll be like, "Oh, sir, sorry, I'm at dental," or I'm already helping so and so with this or that or that. It's like, always got an excuse. Stuff like that.
Is the stuff that you're wanting them to get done stuff that just comes up, or stuff that is pre-planned?
Stuff that just comes up. That's given to me that I do with them, but I need extra hands doing it.
How long do you have to complete these things?
Till the end of the day, typically.
So you get it in the morning?
Whenever it comes up. Like today, great example, at 9 o'clock, I was given 76 laptops, and we needed to pull the SSDs out of every laptop.
At 9 o'clock? And what time do you get to work?
It's 7:30.
What time does this other person get to work?
7:30. We all get to work at the exact same time.
So, and they're your subordinate, so you can tell them what to do, correct?
Yep.
So then when they get to work, say, have a conversation saying, when I need you to help me do things, you're nowhere around, and I can't find you. I need you helping me, so from now on, you need to stay by me.
But that means they have to stay by me.
Yeah, that's the downside.
Aw, nuts. Okay.
Or you can say, if you're going to agree to help somebody else, you need to clear it with me first.
I should do that, actually. That's a great idea. You're right. That I can definitely agree with.
Like, I have projects that are thrown in my lap, and just let them know the reasoning. Be like, I have projects that are thrown in my lap, and they know that you're a part of my team, and if you're off doing something else or helping somebody else, then it puts me in a bad spot. And I've been getting in trouble for not getting stuff done.
Which I haven't. I've been getting it done. But I get you.
Well, they don't know that.
That's true, because they're not there. Very true. I like it. I like the plan. Thank you. And that's kind of just guidance I need. And it's new to me. Especially since the subordinates I've had in the past, I'm just like, hey, get this done by this time. And all of it gets done by that time. And then when they get it done early and we have nothing else going on, see you later, alligator. Have a good rest of your day, you know.
Do you still get paid for that time?
Yep. You know what I mean? Like, it's a win-win. Like, hey, if you just come in and do everything that needs to get done and we're done by, 2 hours early, go home. You don't have to be here.
Yeah.
It's a benefit. Oh, working for Uncle Sam rocks, especially because there's other units where it's just like, no, you're here until this time or later. And I've always hated that. I thought it was pointless. It doesn't build discipline. It just lowers morale. You know, it just makes everyone more pissed off all the time because you're there for no reason. So
I was always the person, the thing that always got me was like, if I was scheduled to work till, I mean, even if it was 5 or 7 or 9, it didn't matter how long I was expected to stay. Like, you get it in your head when you go in, like, all right, I have to be here till, let's just say 5.
Okay.
What always got me, and it always pissed me off, and I don't know why, but if somebody's like, oh yeah, I need you to stay till 7, which had I started thinking I'm going home at 7, I would have been completely fine. But if you tell me at 3 that I have to stay till 7, I'm just going to be in a shit mood after that. I'm just like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be here anymore. I get to, like, I always prepare myself mentally for how long I needed to be there. And then I was getting ready to check out. And then, like, at 5 o'clock, I'm like, all right, I'm checked out. Like, I don't want to be here.
So you would hate working in a hospital then?
Probably.
Because you, especially in an ER, you would never get out anywhere close to the time you're scheduled.
But if I knew that I was going to have to stay late, like, if it was, I never minded working the schedule, or, you know, like you're supposed to be off at 7. I know how it works, and you got to transfer everybody over, and so then you're usually out of there by 8:30. As long as that's the consistence, that would be fine. But if I came in and it was like 5, and I'm getting ready to go, I'm supposed to be done at 7. I know I'll be out of here by 8:30, and somebody's like, "Hey, we're not doing transfers till 9." I would just, like, for the last hour and a half, I'd be like, "God fucking damn it!"
Which anyone would be.
It just always pisses me off. Okay. I'm only mentally prepared to deal with shit for so long.
That's fair. I had a question, but I lost it. I forgot how burpy beer makes me. Did you see that game that came out? I really did want to talk about this, though.
What game?
Fuck, what was it called? It's the Woke game.
The Woke game? I did not see a Woke game.
It has, so 2 games actually recently came out, and they both done abysmal. Current player rate, like current player volume in the double digits, abysmal. One of them's a live service game, right? So kind of like an Overwatch FPS team-based hero shooter.
Okay.
It did so trash, they're closing it down already. 100 mil budget, AAA studio ran, Sony pushed it, and it did so abysmal because the fundamentals suck so much, they're already closing it down.
Wow.
Like the biggest flop, a bigger flop than that zombie game that we were really excited about.
Oh, yeah.
Because that budget wasn't that high. This was an incredibly high budget, and it absolutely tanked.
God, that would suck, wouldn't it?
And then the reviews are coming out, and these people were tweeting reviews like, "Hey, this game just isn't it, right? This is just not a good game. I don't want to keep playing it. Can I have a refund? Blah blah blah." And the developers were retweeting these people, shitting on them, saying that their game's fine. You're an idiot.
That's a good way to do it.
Oh, it's the best way to get your player base engaged. And then recently, there's a game that came out that is considered the Woke game. And it's an RPG. I'm looking it up right now. It's an RPG that has gotten like a ton of popularity because it's so fucking bad.
I can see that.
Concord. I think that's what it's called. Oh no, that's the one that I just talked about. I'm not sure what the other one is. The Woke game is so bad. One of the special abilities for your character was to cancel somebody mid-fight. And I thought this was satire, right? Like, I thought this was just trying to be funny. You could cancel someone by tweeting them to get canceled mid-fight, and they would stun them. So you could beat them. But it's not satire. It's part of the game.
Like, tweet them in real life, or like tweet them in the game?
You're the character in the game tweeting that other character in the game, canceling them.
Interesting.
And like just a bunch of, like, during conversations and stuff, you can get triggered. It's like it's a whole thing. And again, I thought the whole thing was satire. Looking at gameplay and stuff, it's like, nope. This is the game. This is what it was supposed to be.
Do you think they were like actually trying to like actually do that, or were they making fun of it?
I thought they were making fun of it.
They had to have been making fun of it. There's no way. There's no way a bunch of dirty hippies made a fucking video game.
There is definitely a way that they made it.
There is or is not?
There is. There has to be.
No way. It has to be a joke game.
So Concord.
There's no way that it's a real game.
Apparently, it's a real game. Concord is the game we were talking about.
Well, I'm
earlier.
not saying that it's not a real game. I'm saying that they made it to make fun of people.
I mean, I thought so, but
They had to have made it to make fun of people. There's no way that they made it as like a real thing.
I don't know. I'll look into it more for you. How about that? Do some research. But
Sweet.
It's doing abysmally because it's really bad. So
I can believe that.
it's interesting to see that a lot of these things that are coming out, these games are like claiming that they're getting canceled because they're woke. Concord is claiming that it's getting canceled because it's woke. And most of the reviews aren't that it's getting canceled because it's woke. Most of the reviews are it's getting canceled because it's a fucking bad game. The thing sucks nuts.
Yeah, people don't care about your wokeness.
No, not at all. And the games that are soaring in popularity right now are what I would consider fucking dude games. Right?
Yeah,
Like
that's because that's who plays video games mostly.
that's true. But like the new
Like, have you seen Technique in Black Ops 6?
the
Where you can use them as a shield, and what everybody's been doing with it?
just talking shit.
No. They're taking people and like bending them over beds.
That's awesome. Have you seen the one where they made him kiss?
No, I haven't seen that
They
one.
double assassinated and they were like
I think that's called an Eiffel Tower.
they're making them kiss. It's hilarious. That game, that Black Ops looks pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty interested in it.
Yeah, they always look fun at the beginning.
They're always fun at the beginning, and then the people who do
The tryhards?
I was trying to find a better word. The people that play the game every day for weeks on end, for hours on end, just kind of ruin it.
For years on end.
Yeah, kind of ruins
Years.
the experience for me. Really excited. I would tell you to get it, but it's a $60 game, so I'm not going to tell you to get it. Space Marine 2.
I have yet to even hear of Space Marine 1.
Oh, that came out like on the Xbox 360, I think. That's an oldie. It's an oldie.
Oh.
It's a Warhammer 40K, you know, that
Shouldn't it
universe.
be Space Force
Nope.
now?
Space Marine.
There's no such thing as Space Marines. They're Space Force.
How do you know?
Because that's how the government is set up.
There could be Space Marines, you just don't know about them.
There's not. Freedom of Information Act.
Only goes so far. But it looks really good. It's very Helldivers-y with less you dying, more you fucking things up. Like it's an easier Helldivers, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
And
It does.
more fun. It looks a lot more fun. But we'll see. I'm gonna get it for sure when it launches because it looks really interesting. But it's pulling on that just you jump in. There's not a huge. It's not PvP. Well, there's some PvP, but it's not like skill based very much. It's more like your abilities based, and it's just getting in there and killing shit for a couple hours and then going to bed. There's no
Yeah.
There's no super awesome thing you need to learn how to do to be able to compete with everybody else. Kind of, you just load in. You're a big dude with a big gun or a big sword, and you fuck everything up, and that is it. You finish the game. You get some shiny cosmetics, and you go to bed.
Played games like that.
That's all I want. That is all I want. Or a good progression system, like a survival crafting, good progression system. I'm good.
Do you ever get tired of the progression system in survival crafting games?
I do. That's why I gotta take breaks.
I'll say, because they are all essentially the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get.
I'm surprised that nobody hasn't. Yeah, like you start with copper and then you move up, and like I'm surprised somebody hasn't like come up with something different for it.
I mean, people have tried. It just doesn't. It hasn't worked out.
Well, they
Icarus,
haven't done the right things then.
Icarus was a great example of them trying. So was Valheim. Valheim was just survival crafting, base building turned up to 11, right? Super fucking hard.
That game was so brutal.
And the new map came out for it too.
Like I loved the idea of that game, but or like why not have like a survival crafting game like Valheim, but instead of like having to go fight all these monsters that like you travel across seas and like go explore and take over different areas and you know make them like real games like that where like you can get lost at sea, almost like an Oregon Trail where like if you go to try and sail across, like there's just a random generator and it puts you somewhere. And you might have made it to Iceland, you might have made it to Europe, or you might not have made it anywhere and you died in the ocean.
So we have something like that on the way.
Oh,
The guys who made No Man's Sky have reduced their ambitions. And
see, again, you say No Man's Sky, like I've never played No Man's Sky.
so No Man's Sky has a to-scale rendering of the universe.
Okay.
So every planet now they made it in a way where you planet hop, right? Like it's very simple. When you get to the planets have stuff in it, but it's not a ton of stuff, right? It's very simplified. It's cool. It's a planet.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes, they have taken that ambition. And instead of making a 2 scale of the universe, they've been working on a project that is a 2 scale rendering of a planet.
Okay.
Like 100% to scale. If you tried to walk from point A to point B, if you try to do that in actual miles, it would take you the same amount of time. True to scale, and it's a fantasy theme. Dragons, knights, wizards, that whole nonsense. And before, a few years ago, I would have said it's going to suck, it's going to be a flop, it's not going to work. But after all the work they've done with No Man's Sky, and I played it recently and I beat it, I have complete faith that they can knock it out the park.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
And that would be what you're interested in. You want to travel by seas. Say there's a continent that's the same distance from like Africa to America, right? It would take you that many weeks in game time of sailing to get there.
Whew. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Pretty sure there's magic so you can like teleport across the ocean. But if you wanted to,
why don't they ever mix sci-fi and fantasy together, like dragons that can get shot down by spaceships?
they have. I want to say they. No, I guess they.
You don't hear a lot. You don't hear a lot about it.
It's a hard concept to mix. Just like even just fantasy and modern armor is hard to mix.
Why?
Because an A10 is definitely better than a fucking dragon.
Yeah, but what if that dragon has fucking armor on?
Unless it's like 10-inch tungsten plates, that A10 is punching through it.
I don't know.
I would definitely love something like that. I've been reading books like that. That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
Oh, you've been reading books?
Well, listening, but yeah.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, Matt. I fell off.
I'm still really upset that you haven't read.
I fell off. I read when I'm working, or I listen when I'm working, and it's too much to pay attention to. I don't know how you did it while working.
You miss some stuff, and then you read it, you listen to it a second time, and you're like, "Oh, I missed that."
I can't miss stuff. I gotta. That I actually prefer reading.
Yeah.
I'll get back into it. Oh, Gabe
You
actually.
won't.
Gabe actually got the board game, by the way.
Nice, that'd be fun.
I have the copy too. I think you'd like it. It's simple enough that like the boys would be able to play it. Well, maybe not the youngest, but the oldest for sure.
They're pretty smart. They can figure it
I've
out.
seen the youngest play Uno. So, well, that was like 3 years ago.
What's up, Savage Corn? Thank you for stopping by again.
He's back. Wow.
He's back.
Is that someone we know? Could be.
No, I don't believe so.
He missed me dressing up like a
cholo.
Like a cholo. It was a good
Yeah.
time. I like to
It
think it
was.
fit pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
That was me in another life, for sure.
Space Marines in real life could be a thing here within our lifetime, though.
Oh, absolutely. The second they say space med, like they're recruiting for space medics, I'm leaving. I'll see
Yeah,
you guys
I know.
never again.
You won't. You'll be too old.
Nope.
Yep.
Someone's gotta. That's perfect. You want an old space medic with a lot of experience that's also very like disposable in case something goes wrong. It's perfect.
Oh, that's a. I'm sure your wife and future children would appreciate you saying that.
It'll be all right. Space, Matt.
Yep. What a terrible place.
What is the amount of money necessary for you to give up your wiener forever? A man from the government approaches you, and he's like, "I will wire you this amount of money right now to your bank account, but we have to take your dick."
And do what with it?
It doesn't matter. It's not your.
Why do you have to take it?
It's
It
not
does. It does matter.
It's not your property anymore.
It does. It 100% matters. 100% matters.
We're gonna use it. We're gonna use your urethra to become an artery for a very important political figure that they won't say who. It'll save their life.
For a very important political figure.
They're like, "What amount of money do you need?" And he has his phone out, and he's just waiting.
$2 billion.
It's a lot of money.
Yep.
You'll never get a blowjob again for the rest of your life.
There's chances that could happen right now.
That's on the table currently.
That's a current option going on right now. Why? What's your number?
I don't know. I don't even know if I could. Honestly.
To like set your family up, like $2 billion is generational wealth. And like your kids probably wouldn't have to work.
I wouldn't have any of those because I would lose my wiener.
You don't have to have a wiener to have kids.
All right, Frank and Beans. Both.
That's a totally different story. That's a whole different conversation.
I don't think it's a different conversation for you. I think it's still the same conversation.
No, it's a still different conversation.
Is it?
Because if I've got $2 billion, I might want to have more kids.
I guess that's fair. You
I'd
wouldn't have
hire
to
a
work.
surrogate
Yeah.
and a nanny.
Or like a team of nannies, actually.
Not just one. Just pay her really well.
Would it have to be an ugly or a hot nanny? I guess it wouldn't matter if it was a hot nanny.
Well, it's not like I have to worry about showing off.
Is it worse if you get the same offer, but instead of completely taking it away, they leave you with a 2-inch micro penis?
No, because you can actually still at least do something with that.
I guess.
You ever wonder how they jerk off micro penises?
I have to assume just like this. I already preempt that strike for you. I have to assume it's this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Up. Go ahead. Go up. Up. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Oh, she fell off my bed last night, so she's been hesitant to get back up.
It happens. It happens.
I have a scary story from my mom.
Ooh.
She did tell me to tell this. I'm glad I remember. So,
Savage Corn wants to know who the floofy dog is.
oh, that one's Orion, and that's Maggie. And they're very sweet babies, although Maggie's kind of spoiled.
Oh, my dog's got taken out.
So, as you know, my father left. He didn't leave. He just took a job.
He went to get milk.
He'll be back Friday. I swear. My mom's been here by herself a lot. And she said the other night she was here, no one else was home, and she, like, the dog was, she could hear, her eyes were closed, she could hear the dog pacing in her bedroom. And so she, like, kind of, like, gets up, because she's like, what the fuck? Like, thinking the dog might have to, like, shit really bad or, you know, throw up or something.
Mm-hmm.
She, like, gets up, and she says she sees me standing there, except my face is translucent. Right? Like, she can see, because she has an altar next to her bed with all of our dead ancestors. We're Mexican. I mean, it is what it is. She has that next to her bed, and she said she saw me standing there, and then, like, she was just looking like, what the fuck? And then apparently I go like this. Like I lunge for her, right? Like, what? What are you going to do? And then
it seems right given your Corona tire.
And she like launches back into her bed, and then like I just disappear.
Yeah, it sounds like a dream.
And she stayed awake. She didn't go back to bed. It was like 5 o'clock. She didn't go back to bed. She just went to work. There was no going back to sleep or no waking up again. She just continued her day.
Was she... I'd be interested to know where she got up in her bed, or like she said she flew back into her bed. Was she just in bed and this all happened like a dream, and then she just woke up and was like, oh my God, and like felt that she flew back into her bed?
It could definitely be an option.
That's where my money is at.
Regardless, that happening to you would be fucking terrifying. Dream or not? I personally think that would be pretty fucking scary.
But you believe in that kind of stuff.
It's true.
So you give it power over you.
I guess you could just be like, wow, that was a crazy dream.
Mm-hmm.
This demon fucking scratches you. You wake up like bleeding from your chest. Man, what a weird dream. Must have done it to myself. Honestly, though, that's how, I mean, that's what works for you. I'm not going to knock you for it. Sleepy babies.
I mean, that makes more sense than a demon actually scratching you that you can't see and that lives in your room.
Does it? Because we believed in demons for thousands of years. Then again, we did believe the earth was flat for thousands of years, which is unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed.
But the government wants you to believe that the world is round.
Well, according to that one girl, you know, they shouldn't have invented gravity because we don't really need it.
Oh, yeah, we really... Galileo just... Was it Galileo? No.
I think so.
What? No. Sir Isaac Newton? I think it was Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah, it was Isaac Newton. Yeah, it was.
With the apple. What? Galileo did, like, was like the telescope or something. Like,
yeah, he was yeah.
Which, did I tell you what the plan is for my birthday?
Yes, you're going camping. You've told me like 4 times. Like, how much do you drink now?
Not a lot.
Well, I'm gonna call false because you've told me what you're doing for your birthday like 4 times now.
I'm excited.
Which is awesome. I'm glad you're excited. But
I mean, I had 1 shot, 1 beer, and now I'm drinking a beatbox. And this is the last bit of alcohol I have left. So I'm definitely feeling it. Feels good.
he is very excited for it. You are correct, Savage Corn.
It's going to be so fun. Zero Dark Park, baby. But I thought about that because we're talking about Galileo.
Or did you think about it because you're thinking about nightmares and demons?
I don't think that'll happen.
Maybe because there's no lights that they'll be more possibility.
I don't think so. Maybe skinwalkers though. Ooh.
What's the
Wendigo.
Wendigos. I was thinking Wendango, and I was like, that's definitely not right.
Sounds like a fucking Midwestern gas station. I'm about to go to the Wendigo. You want any? You want a Coke? You want a pop?
As opposed to going to the giant fucking gas station with 19 different meat stations.
You better be nice to Buc-ee's. First of all,
Or what?
tell me that doesn't sound awesome. Going to a place
It
that has
doesn't.
19 meat stations.
It doesn't. Nothing about Buc-ee's sounds awesome. I've been to one.
They're awesome.
Nothing is great.
Did you eat the food?
No. It's super expensive.
Yeah, it is. It is expensive. It's scrumptious though. It's really good. And the brisket
Yeah,
sandwiches aren't expensive. They're $4.
Well, I wasn't looking.
Bummer, because Buc-ee's.
I did get some. I think what are they? Beaver nuts?
Oh, those are not good. Beaver nuggets? They're not very good. It's just cornstarch nuggets.
No, Savage Corn. There is a gas station called Buc-ee's in Texas, and like when they have a meat station, like they serve like actual, like cut off like prime rib, or not prime rib, but
I'm about to say, what
brisket.
did you go to? Barbecue.
Brisket, barbecue. Like they have like several different like places that will make you a different type of custom meal on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a food court in a mall inside of a gas station.
Except the gas station's the size of half a Target.
Yes.
That's a pretty accurate description for the size of it. It's big. They got merch, tons of candy, slushies, any drink you can think of. But the biggest thing, the best thing about Buc-ee's that I guess you didn't experience is the bathrooms. Buc-ee's bathrooms are the best. They are completely cemented in. There's like 50 stalls. They're probably not 50, probably like 25. There's still a shit ton of stalls, and they're all in their own rooms, essentially. And
That's nice.
That's just for taking a shit. You obviously have like urinals and stuff everywhere else, but you have like door goes from floor to ceiling. Like it's great.
Why did we start not having doors? Like who came up with the idea?
I think it was for homeless people. I think because homeless people were ruining it for everybody else. And for people having sex, I think.
Well, people still have sex in them.
I know, but not as many. Not comfortably.
How do you know?
Not comfortably.
How does having a door and a full wall make it less comfortable?
I don't know.
Like none of your points make sense on why we don't have full stalls.
I think the homeless one makes a lot of sense.
Why? Homeless people are still around.
Yeah, but they're not sleeping in bathrooms.
Why couldn't they sleep in there now?
Because there's holes on the... Like, they're not protected. They're not safe. But they could close and lock a door. That's safe. That's protected. I follow that guy on TikTok that travels around in different areas as a homeless dude. He's not actually homeless. He just does it. He's slept in, like, hotel closets and, like, all these weird places. It's doable.
That's weird.
Yeah, well, he makes money doing it. More money than I do, so.
Yeah. Well, he probably just has a YouTube channel. I mean, there's one guy that just goes out into the wilderness and fucking does shit and makes... He gets like 1.9 million views a day on YouTube.
I watch him religiously. He's what I fall asleep to. I know exactly who you're talking about. There's two that I watch. One, he has a dog that he takes with him, and then it's that dude. That dude will sometimes take his sons. He's actually a lawyer, too, by the way.
Nice.
That's just his hobby. I'm buying his camp stove, because it's really nice.
Nice.
But I've always been really into that. I think it's fun.
I like watching it. The idea of doing all the work doesn't sound appealing.
It's rewarding.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
At the end of the night, like it's... Especially if you have like a buddy with you, which is what Gabe and I used to do, it's pretty rewarding.
But you can get all that stuff and not have to do it and like just have fun.
That's true. I mean, I like glamping with you. It's been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, buddy. We're at time.
Yep. We are at time. All right. Well, thank you everybody for stopping by. It has been another fantastic Whiskey Wednesday here on the Sam Xavier podcast. We appreciate you all so much for stopping by. We will be back again next week. Savage Corn, thank you for stopping by. It was a pleasure seeing you. I will try to stop by one of your streams when you are rocking.
Thank you, Mr. Corn.
And yeah, Thomas, any final words for the people?
Tip your waitresses. Don't tip your waiters. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. If you're gonna do drugs anyways, take half. And I think that's it.
All of that is terrible advice. Don't listen to anything he says. Thank you all so much. Toodles!